In our previous video, I showed you the local Git repository. You made some changes to some files and you're happy with your changes. Every changes have been saved and staged and committed. So now you have a snapshot of your files. You want to share your code with other people, and then you will need an online remote Git repository. So the Git repository I'm going to use is GitHub. So this is free. You can register an account. You just new repository, give it a name. That's called Git demo. Then create a repository. You can put some comments. It's optional. Yeah. Once you have created this repository, you see the code is already here for you, ready for you. So just copy this code and run it on your local Git repository, so you can push your code to this remote origin. Yeah, git remote add. You add a remote repository called origin, and its URL is HTTPS blah blah blah. So it uses HTTPS protocol. So now you have linked your local repository with the remote Git repository at GitHub. The next step is same code you copy from the website, Git Push. You push your local code to that remote repository. Git Push -u origin master. So you're currently on your master branch. If you use Git status, you know. We will talk about branching very quickly. Yeah. Okay, you're done. So you have pushed your code to that remote Git repository. If you want to grab a code from your Git remote repository, you can just git pull. If you have an empty, say another person, he want to share your code, he want to see what you have written, he can create an empty directory, and then he can use git clone. And under that empty directory, there's be a new folder. All your files will be cloned. All the whole Git history, all whole Git repository from that GitHub will be cloned to his hard drive. So git clone. That's one of the 3 ways to create a Git repository that I mentioned in my previous video. You can use git init to create a local Git repository. You can clone somebody else's Git repository, or you can just use some command line tool like the Angular ng generate or ng new project, something to create a Git repository. So git clone, you can get the repository from the server. Now, after you have pushed your code to the Git repository, you may further edit your code on your local hard drive. You may edit some code, you may commit again. What happens? You take another snapshot with edited code. Your code will be different from the code on the server, right? So on your local Git repository, the master branch, you made some changes, you committed the changes, but it's not reflected on the server. So you may need to push your code again. Or if you want to restore your code from a version on the server, because there may be multiple people working on the same project, right? Some other people may push code, and you need to pull that code from the server, use git pull. There may be conflict between the server code, because somebody else has edited it, and your local Git repository's master branch. The server master branch and your local master branch will differ because somebody else edited the code, and you need to resolve that difference. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about branching. Yeah, this is a pretty complex part. Okay, so this video is about remote repository. I hope that's simple enough. Yeah, it's not difficult.